Chapter 261. Yi Tian stopped abruptly and looked at the Broken Sword Emperor incredulously. Broken Sword Emperor, isn't the Glory Temple the most powerful force in the Tianfu super base, and there is still a force behind the Glory Temple? The Broken Sword Emperor said in a deep voice, Emperor of 10,000 laws, you should know the era of ancient civilization, right? At the beginning, many human beings in the era of ancient civilization sects lived on the earth for a long time, and it can even be said that many human beings on the earth also have the blood of ancient civilization human beings. At the beginning, the vitality of the earth disappeared, and the spatial rift was about to disappear, and many ancient civilization sects withdrew one after another, but some descendants did not. So the descendants stayed. With the passage of time, the descendants of the ancient civilization of human beings have no way to cultivate, and one by one their lifespan is coming, and they have no choice but to find a way to leave the earth. Some of them have successfully escaped into the starry sky, and some of them have hid in a small world with some vitality. However, these human beings have also slowly become ordinary people, no different from the human beings on the earth, but the development process of the two sides is different. The earth has developed into a modern world, while the human beings in the small world have been in the era of ancient civilization, similar to the ancient earth. At the time of the great changes in the earth, the vitality of the small world recovered rapidly, and an interstellar teleportation array in the small world was opened. Interstellar teleportation array. Yi Tian guessed something, and hurriedly asked, could it be that the human beings of the ancient civilization era have come? The Broken Sword Emperor nodded. Yes, but it can't be called human beings in the ancient civilization era. They are the same as us. They are also human beings in this era, but they don't live in the same planetary world as us. They are the planetary humans where the ancient civilization sect is located, and they can be regarded as the people of those sects. But those sects have basically disappeared in the long years, leaving only a few sects. More than 100 years ago, the people of the sect on the human planet of this ancient civilization came over through the teleportation array and established a force, which is called the Glory Pavilion. Soon after, the earth began to recover. And our Temple of Glory is supported by this force, and the two sides are in a relationship of exploitation. Utilization? Yi Tian was thoughtful. That's right, it's to use. Although our Glory Temple is supported by the Glory Pavilion, after all, the two sides are human beings on two planets, and it is true that they are both human beings, but after so many years, where is there any relationship between the two sides? Only interests. And these people in the Glory Pavilion seem to be afraid of something. They never enter the earth, they only let us collect resources for them, and they provide us with exercises, weapons, and even the boundary-breaking pill. The boundary-breaking pill of the Temple of Glory was provided by these people from the Glory Pavilion. The people of the Glory Pavilion didn't control you? Yi Tian was curious. No, said the Broken Sword Emperor, they only seem to be trading with us, nominally making us its subordinate forces, but not allowing us to pass through that interstellar teleportation array. According to our guess, the recovery of the Earth's vitality should be done by these people from the Glory Pavilion, or other similar forces. Other similar forces. Yi Tian thought of other countries. Sure enough, the Broken Sword Emperor said, Emperor of 10,000 laws, you should have also thought of it. The Glory Pavilion supports our Glory Temple, which represents the power of Washa. But that planet is far more than just the Glory Pavilion forces. Other forces have supported other forces, and there are about a dozen forces like this. And that small world is also very big, and there is a certain amount of suppression for the Emperor level, and the destructive power of the Emperor level is not as great as that on the Earth. Moreover, there are a lot of human cities in that small world, as well as many great emperors, and there are even 8-star Emperor and 9-star Emperor level. Does the Glory Temple have a 9-star Emperor level? Yi Tian asked again. Nope. The Broken Sword Emperor shook his head. The 8-star Emperor level and the 9-star Emperor level are basically the real top existences of those foreign forces, and the most powerful one on our Earth side is the 8-star Emperor level, but it is not the Great Emperor of the Glory Temple, but a Great Emperor of the Western War God Temple. Western God of War Temple. Yi Tian remembered the name. Along the way, he chatted a lot with the Broken Sword Emperor, and gradually learned about the Glory Temple, the Glory Pavilion, and the small world. Soon, they came to the teleportation array of the Temple of Glory, and were about to teleport into the small world. This small world is called the Earth Immortal Realm by everyone. Of course, this Earth Immortal Realm is different from the Earth Immortal Realm in the novel, but it is just the same name. Wow! Teleportation begins. In the next moment, Yi Tian came to the Earth Immortal Realm. Rumble. A heavy pressure hit, like a pressure in the dark, but it didn't look like gravity. If it was gravity, ordinary people would not be able to live here. It's more of a rule press. Soon, Yi Tian got used to this suppression and no longer cared about it. Anyway, all martial artists will be suppressed, just to limit the destructive power, not to limit the strength. There is nothing to worry about. Walking out of the teleportation hall, Yi Tian came to an ancient city. That's a lot of people. Yi Tian was a little surprised. He swept his senses and found that many of the people in this city were ordinary people. There were very few martial artists, and martial artists above the king level were even rarer. In terms of the number of warriors, this city is not even as good as some small bases. Aren't you curious why there are so few martial artists? The Broken Sword Emperor said with a smile. It's really a little curious. Yi Tian admitted. Because it's safe here, there are no fierce beast attacks, so the ordinary people here rarely die because of accidents, plus there is no threat, so there are a lot of ordinary people, which leads to a lot of human talent in the entire world on average, and the number of martial artists naturally does not account for much. But there are really a lot of human beings in this world, and the overall number of martial artists is beyond that of human beings on Earth, so you will know in the future. The Broken Sword Emperor introduced. Immediately, the Broken Sword Emperor took Yi Tian into a quaint, huge attic, and soon saw a group of great emperors. Here, he met some of the great emperors on the emperor list. On the top floor of the attic, Yi Tian saw a 7-star emperor-level powerhouse of the Glory Temple, Ling Fei the Great Emperor. Emperor Ling Fei looked very young, and his whole person looked very kind, but the aura on his body was very powerful and terrifying, far from being comparable to the Broken Sword Emperor. The moment he saw Emperor Ling Fei, Yi Tian recalled the information about Emperor Ling Fei. 7th on the Emperor list, Li Ling, affiliation, Glory Temple, 7-star Emperor-level combat power. There is no doubt that Emperor Ling Fei is very strong and powerful, and he is a strong person among the 7-star Emperor-level combat power. The 7th on the Glory Emperor list, that is equivalent to the 7th in Huasha. Emperor Liang Fei, Yi Tian said politely, Emperor of 10,000 laws, please take a seat. Emperor Ling Fei smiled slightly. Yi Tian sat down. Wanfa Heavenly Emperor, you should have learned a lot from the Broken Sword Emperor, but do you know why I invited you to the Earth Immortal Realm? After all, you won't join the Glory Temple, so we shouldn't need to invite you. Emperor Ling Fei said bluntly. I still have some doubts. Yi Tian nodded. Emperor Ling Fei laughed a few times, and then explained, because we are all Chinese, where there are people, there is a fight. Because of the fierce beasts on the earth, the major bases need to guard the bases, and there are also fierce beasts along the way in the middle, so it is difficult for the strong people of the major countries to meet together. But the Earth Immortal Realm is different, and it is easy to meet humans from other regions here. Huasha is a whole, and human beings in other regions are also a whole, fighting each other. Besides, we Earth humans also need to be afraid of those foreign forces, so the more emperors who can come to the Earth Immortal Realm, the better, but it is a waste of places for the weaker emperors to come, so it is better not to let them come. What slot? Yi Tian asked. Emperor Ling Fei took out a ring, the quota for entering and leaving the Earth Immortal Realm at any time. Chapter 262. Entering and exiting the Earth Immortal Realm at any time? Yi Tian stared at the ring, and there was some longing in his heart. Although the resources of the Earth Immortal Realm are less than those of the Earth main world, this place is more suitable for human habitation, and many emperor-level powerhouses live here, so they can get better exchanges here. Even some scarce resources can only be traded in the Earth Immortal Realm, because there are ancient civilization sect powerhouses in the Earth Immortal Realm. And for Yi Tian, the Earth Immortal Realm is also very attractive. He can copy other people's talents, but there are so many powerhouses in the Earth Immortal Realm. How can there not be a few good talents? For example, the Morning Star Sword skill talent he dreamed of must still be available in this Earth Immortal Realm. As long as he copied one more Morning Star Sword skill talent, his sword skill talent could be upgraded to the Huihui level. In addition, the path after the Emperor level, the Zhanghai Super Base, does not. He must get specific knowledge before he dares to impact the God level, otherwise if he cultivates on the wrong path, he will not regret dying. For these reasons, he wanted to enter the Earth Immortal Realm. 10,000 Laws. Heavenly Emperor, this Earth Immortal Ring will be given to you. Emperor Ling Fei gave the Earth Immortal Realm to Yi Tian, and said, the Earth Immortal Ring is made by using a magical material in the Earth Immortal Realm, and it is mixed with a trace of the power of the Earth Immortal Realm. Even our Glory Pavilion does not have refining techniques, so every place is very precious, and I hope that the 10,000 Laws Heavenly Emperor will keep it for a good time. Thank you, Emperor Ling Fei. Yi Tian put away the Earth Immortal Ring and thanked him. Yi Tian didn't have the idea of joining the Glory Temple, and Emperor Ling Fei had already known about it, so he didn't mention it, and naturally he didn't reveal too much information to Yi Tian. Give Yi Tian a place in the Earth Immortal Realm, and then explain some of the situation in the Earth Immortal Realm to him. This is friendly enough. Yi Tian naturally didn't ask too many questions, and after bidding farewell to Emperor Ling Fei, he left this residence in the Glory Temple. The vitality of the Earth Immortal Realm is not much weaker than that of the Earth main world, and the area is also very large, so the Earth is a very ideal place for ordinary people. It's a pity that it is too difficult to enter the Earth Immortal Realm, and ordinary people don't even have the qualifications to enter the Earth Immortal Realm by taking the teleportation array. Forcibly riding the teleportation array, the weak body can't withstand the tearing force of the teleportation array at all. Only the strong people above the Grandmaster level can ride the teleportation array in the Temple of Glory, but if it is a large-scale migration of martial artists above the Grandmaster, there will be no one on the earth to resist the fierce beasts. Yi Tian said darkly, it was with these problems in mind that those emperors blocked the existence of the Earth Immortal Realm, and even many emperors did not know the Earth Immortal Realm. Only the strong people above the 6-star Emperor level could know the Earth Immortal Realm. Yi Tian could only enter the Earth Immortal Realm alone for the time being, but there was no way to bring others in. Of course, it is not beneficial for the people of Tianj and his wife Moon Emperor to enter the Earth Immortal Realm. It is far less comfortable than staying on the Earth. After all, the Zhanghai Super Base is not in any danger now, and the resources are sufficient, so there is no need to enter the Earth Immortal Realm. The Earth Immortal Realm is only attractive to those Emperor-level people who have completed the Great Transformation, and they all want to trade treasures from those foreign forces that can make their talent transform or their strength skyrocket. The Earth Immortal Realm is very large, and there are many cities, and this city is called Cloud City, which is one of the many cities controlled by the Glory Temple, as for the headquarters in other places. However, the headquarters of the Glory Temple was forbidden for other emperors to enter, and Yi Tian was not brought into the headquarters of the Glory Temple because he did not join the Glory Temple, but was only brought to this Cloud City. Although Cloud City is small, it also has a teleportation array that is connected to other cities. Yi Tian naturally wouldn't stay in a small place like Cloud City, and after inquiring, he took the teleportation array to another city, East Wave City. This city was built 80 years ago, and the scale is very large, and Cloud City is completely a small broken city compared to Dongbo City. The area of Dongbo Castle is about the same as a large base on the Earth, with a population of about 8 million, but not everyone can enter Dongbo Castle. Only warriors and their families can join Dongbo Castle. Once there are no warriors in the ancestors, and it is completely a civilian family, it will be moved out of Dongbo Castle and arranged in other cities. Because of these regulations, the city of Eastern Pala prospered. One of the main reasons why many warriors came to Toba Castle was its geographical location. It is located between the Dongli Mountains and the Bibo Lake, and the Bibo Lake is a very excellent place for water system cultivators, and anyone who has the esoteric level water system talent will cultivate here much faster. And the Dongli Mountains contain a lot of resources, and some fierce beasts have also been born. Although the number cannot be compared with the fierce beasts of the main world of the Earth, but this is also a treasure land, and many martial artists will look for cultivation resources in the Dongli Mountain range. It is precisely because of this advantage that the city of East Wave is so prosperous. And Dongbo City also has an advantage. He is between the Eastern Cultivation Realm and the Northern Cultivation Realm. The Eastern Cultivation Realm refers to the Eastern forces dominated by Hua Sha, while the northern cultivation realm is dominated by the super bases in the northern Bear region. In addition, the Earth Immortal realm also has the western cultivation realm and the southern cultivation realm. The central cultivation realm is the common area of the 4 major cultivation realms, and it is also a trading area. Yi Tian did not go to the central cultivation realm, but came to Dongbo City, where he had enough information to learn, and it was much safer than the central cultivation realm. According to the information he learned, the central cultivation world was very chaotic, and except for the city, it would attract attacks from other forces at any time. Yi Tian was not afraid of causing an attack, but for the time being, he wanted to know more about the Earth Immortal realm. Knowing yourself and knowing your opponent can win all battles. The Earth Immortal realm is not the main world of the Earth, and this place is even more dangerous than the Beast world, because there are powerful emperors at the 8-star emperor level or even the 9-star emperor level here. Yi Tian knew very well his current strength. If he met a 7-star emperor level, he could still fight. If he encountered an 8-star emperor level, then he could only escape. If he met a 9-star emperor, it was estimated that he would not even have any hope of escaping. Therefore, he will not be arrogant to the point of believing that he is invincible. Dongbo City, Dongbo Chamber of Commerce. Yi Tian came here and wanted to see what good things were here. After walking around, Yi Tian had to admit that there were indeed a lot of good things here. For example, Morningstar weapons, Morningstar formation plans, and even some rare pills and talent-enhancing treasures are sold, but the price is very expensive. The currency here is the Yuan Qi Stone, and a treasure can easily cost thousands or even tens of thousands of Qi Stones, and ordinary martial artists can't afford it at all. At this moment, the conversation of some saint-level martial artists caught Yi Tian's attention. Do you know? The Earth Immortal Realm King List, Saint List, and Emperor List have been updated. Updated? So fast. Didn't you say that it was updated every year? How could it be so fast? It is said that a Tianzhao has risen, so that the major forces have united to update the list. Let's quickly buy 3 copies of the list and take a look. A famous warrior buys a new batch of lists at the Dongbo Chamber of Commerce. But Yi Tian's expression moved, and he also walked to the counter of the sales list and bought a list, Emperor List. As for the other lists, he was not interested in them at all. Soon, the Emperor List arrived, and Yi Tian looked at it. Suddenly, the dense name of the Emperor appeared on the Emperor List. And Yi Tian also found the name of Emperor Ling Fei. Chapter 263. 72nd place on the Emperor List, Ling Fei the Great, 7-star Emperor level combat power. Seeing this ranking on the Emperor List, Yi Tian was very surprised. Emperor Ling Fei was ranked 7th on the Glory Emperor List, how powerful his combat power was, but now he could only rank 72nd on the Earth Immortal Realm Emperor List, which was enough to show how many strong people there were on the Emperor List. Swish! Yi Tian's gaze moved to the first position on the Emperor List, and an unfamiliar name appeared in Yi Tian's eyes. Number 1 on the Emperor List, Golden Battle Emperor, 8-star Emperor level combat power. The Golden Emperor's real name is Ryan Harus, and the Golden Emperor is his title. The Emperor List in the Earth Immortal Realm does not use real names, only titles. If Yi Tian entered the Earth Immortal Realm Emperor List, then the name that appeared on it would be the Emperor of 10,000 Laws. There is only one 8-star Emperor in the Earth Immortal Realm Emperor List. It should be the Great Emperor of the War God Temple mentioned by the Breaking Sword Emperor before, but the foreign forces in the Earth Immortal Realm have 8-star or even 9-star Emperor level, and it is obvious that these Emperor levels are not included in it. Yi Tian also understood the imagination of these foreign forces. How could they reveal their strength, and naturally they would not rank the Emperor level on their side into the Emperor List. In this way, it will give the Emperors of the Earth a very mysterious feeling. There is very little information about the Emperor level on the Emperor List, and Yi Tian does not know the talent of these Emperor levels. He wanted to find the Great Emperor who had the talent of Morningstar Sword Technique or other martial artists at the cultivation level, and the Broken Sword Emperor should be very clear about the situation of the other Great Emperors, but it was impossible for him to ask the Broken Sword Emperor, otherwise it would be difficult to explain. The Toba Chamber of Commerce should sell the information of the warriors, right? Yi Tian guessed. So, he asked a staff member of the East Poland Chamber of Commerce and quickly got a positive answer. The East Wave Chamber of Commerce does sell news. In one room, Yi Tian met a person in charge of the Dongbo Chamber of Commerce, who was a female saint-level martial artist. This female saint-level name is Zhang Qing, a very ordinary name, but the opponent's strength is not weak, and she has 2 arcane-level talents, namely the arcane-level speed talent and the arcane-level ice talent. Honorable Emperor, I don't know what information you want to buy. Zhang Qing asked very politely. I want specific information about the powerhouses on the Emperor list, as well as information about the Morningstar Sword talent. I think you Dongbo Chamber of Commerce should have them, right? Yi Tian asked. Zhang Qing looked at Yi Tian curiously, and was a little puzzled why Yi Tian bought these materials. Very few emperors would buy these materials, because when the Emperor level chatted with the Emperor level, they would basically know this information. Unless, didn't the great Emperor just enter the Earth Immortal Realm? Zhang Qing blurted out, but as soon as she said it, she regretted it. Asking about the guests is a big no-no. Rumble. A faint momentum enveloped Zhang Qing, and it was Yi Tian who released a trace of his breath. That's how the Dongbo Chamber of Commerce does business? Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Yi Tian said coldly. The Emperor is angry. I was wrong. I can sell 50% of this information to the Emperor. Zhang Qing hurriedly said. Yi Tian took back the information, and then said, how much does this information cost? Zhang Qing pondered for a while and said, my lord, if you just know ordinary information, it is not expensive. 1,000 yuan chi stones are enough. But if you want to know the other party's talent, current dynamics and other intelligence information, then the value is high. The focus is on the information of the Morningstar Sword talent. Yi Tian said, I understand. Zhang Qing nodded, and immediately quoted a price, 300,000 yuan of chi stones. The information of all the Morningstar Sword skill talents that our Dongbo Chamber of Commerce knows and the information of the powerhouses on the Emperor list will be handed over to the Great Emperor one by one. In addition, I can make the decision to reduce half of the fee, and the Emperor only needs to pay 150,000 yuan of chi stones. It's not expensive. When can I get the intelligence news? Yi Tian asked. 3 days. Zhang Qing said. We have the news of the Emperor level here, but the news of the Morningstar Sword skill talent is not complete. We need to contact the various branches, mobilize these materials, and find out new information. It will take a little time. The deposit requires 10,000 yuan of gas stones, which is the rule of our Dongbo Chamber of Commerce, and I hope that the Emperor will. Before Zhang Qing finished speaking, Yi Tian threw a storage bag over. Okay, here is 10,000 yuan gas stone. 3 days later, I'll come back to get the information. After Yi Tian finished speaking, he turned around and left. In the next 3 days, Yi Tian did not return to the Zhanghai superbase, but traveled around the various cities in the Earth Immortal Realm, and also heard a lot of news and learned more about the Earth Immortal Realm. In the blink of an eye, 3 days have passed. Yi Tian came to the Dongbo Chamber of Commerce in Dongbo City again, paid the remaining 140,000 yuan of gas stones, and finally got the information he wanted. In a private room of a restaurant, Yi Tian was drinking wine while flipping through the information he had just purchased. The information is very thick, and the information of each emperor level is very complete, and it introduces the talents of each emperor and some hidden hole cards, but it is not extremely certain. For these emperor level materials, Yi Tian was not in a hurry to look at them. He was in a hurry to take a look at the information of the Morningstar Sword skill talent. 7. Yi Tian saw the information of the 7 people, and there was his information among them. Yi Tian, the Emperor of 10,000 Laws, is suspected to have a morning-level sword talent, a top-level spatial talent, an arcane-level speed talent, an arcane-level defense talent, and an arcane-level strength talent. Yi Tian read this information and immediately smiled. He knew that his identity must have been exposed, but it didn't matter. Even if the Dongbo Chamber of Commerce knew his identity, it would only keep it secret for him, and he didn't dare to offend him. The Dongbo Chamber of Commerce is indeed very strong, backed by several foreign forces, but it will not offend a 6-star Emperor-level powerhouse at will. It's a pity, no matter how powerful the intelligence network of the Dongbo Chamber of Commerce is, there is no way to find out all my talents. Only the talents I want to show. Yi Tian shook his head and said. He continued to read, and also saw the information of the Broken Sword Emperor. It's a pity that he has already copied the Broken Sword Emperor's Morningstar Sword talent, and there is no way to copy it again. Then, he looked at the information of the other 5 Morningstar Sword talent. 10 Slashing Sword Emperor, Morningstar Sword Skill Talent, one of the great emperors of the Northern Cultivation Realm Northern Bear Alliance, ranked 83rd on the Emperor list, 7-star Emperor level powerhouse. Blood Sword Emperor, Morningstar Sword Skill Talent, founder of the Blood Sect of the Southern Cultivation Realm, Earth World Powerhouse, ranked 93rd on the Emperor list, 7-star Emperor level powerhouse. Crazy Knife Battle Emperor, Morningstar Sword Talent, Eastern Cultivation Realm Scattered Cultivation, local Emperor of the Earth Immortal Realm, City Lord of Crazy Knife City, now the location is unknown. Holy Light Sword Saint, Morningstar Sword Skill Talent, Western Cultivation Realm War God Temple Saint level, Earth Immortal Realm Native Saint level, now in the Ancient Civilization Ruins Sky Blue Sword Sect. Emperor of the God of War Temple, Pisharus, the son of the Golden Emperor of War, has a Morningstar Sword Talent, and is now in the Temple of the God of War. After reading the information of these 5 Morningstar Sword Talent, Yi Tian frowned. The information is available, but these 5 people are hard to find. The 10 Slashing Sword Emperor is not in the Earth Immortal Realm, and the specific location is unknown. And the Blood Sword Emperor is in charge of the Saha Superbase in the main world. He is the Emperor of the Zhanghai Superbase in the Huasha region. If he rashly enters the Saha Superbase, it is estimated that it will attract the attention of the Saha Superbase, and it is too eye-catching. There was no doubt that the Bloodknife Emperor was not a suitable target. And although the Crazy Sword War Emperor is in the Earth Immortal Realm, he is not in his own city at the moment. If he waits, who knows when he will wait. As for the Emperor of the God of War Temple, the other party was protected layer by layer in the God of War Temple, and it was impossible for him to get close, nor could he copy the opponent's Morningstar Sword Talent. There's only one goal left. Yi Tian's gaze looked at the Holy Light Sword Saint. Chapter 264. The Holy Light Sword Saint is only a saint level, although it is the holy level of the God of War Temple, but at this moment, it is not in the God of War Temple, but in a place called the Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect. And the intelligence also introduced the Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect. This ruin is left by the Ancient Civilization Sect Azure Sword Sect, and after a long time, the Azure Sword Sect has disappeared, but this ruin has been preserved, and there are many sword skills inherited in it. The Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect only allow martial artists above the Emperor level to enter, and once a martial artist who exceeds the Emperor level breaks into the Azure Sword Sect, they will be detected and forcibly expelled. The Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect are currently controlled by several foreign forces, and they will only be opened once in 10 years, and this time many saint-level swordsmen have broken into the Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect. The Holy Light Sword Saint was very interested in the sword skills and other treasures in this ruin, so he entered the ruins. And the Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect were located in the Central Cultivation Realm area. It seems that I have to go to the Central Cultivation Realm. Yi Tian muttered. Morningstar Sword Talent, he is bound to get it. Moreover, he was also very interested in the Ruins of the Azure Sword Sect, and now knowing this news was an unexpected gain. Other emperors can't enter the Azure Sword Sect ruins, but it doesn't mean that he can't enter the Azure Sword Sect ruins. Yi Tian took the teleportation array of Dongbo City and teleported several times, and finally came to the Azure City of the Central Cultivation Realm. Sky Blue City is famous for the ruins of the Azure Sword Sect, and there are not many martial artists in normal times, but every time the ruins of the Azure Sword Sect are opened, it is very prosperous here. But outside Sky Blue City, it is very chaotic, and there are often murders and goods. The ruins of the Azure Sword Sect are 300,000 kilometers west of Azure City, and after Yi Tian came to Azure City, he disguised himself as a young man who was not good looking, and even controlled his cultivation and lowered his aura to the holy level. For the Emperor level, such a hidden aura is easy to discover, but it is not easy for the Saint level to discover Yi Tian's cultivation, and he only thinks that Yi Tian is a martial artist who has just entered the holy level. Swish! Yi Tian flew out of Azure City and flew in the direction of the Azure Sword Sect ruins. If it is in the main world of the Earth, a Saint level can quickly fly to the ruins of the Azure Sword Sect, but in the Earth Immortal Realm, the suppression of the rules in the dark makes the speed of the Saint level very slow, and it will take a little time to cross 300,000 kilometers. Yi Tian only flew at the speed of an ordinary saint level, about 100,000 kilometers, and several saint-level figures were detected by Yi Tian. "There's bait." Yi Tian smiled weirdly. He deliberately disguised himself as an ordinary saint level, naturally not because he was bored, but because he wanted a saint level body. If he deliberately killed a human saint level, he wouldn't be able to do it, but if there was a saint level who wanted to hit his attention, then he wouldn't have any psychological pressure to kill the other party. He can use the top-level soul transfer talent to erase the opponent's soul and occupy the opponent's body, so that he will be a saint level. When the time comes, he will be foolproof when he uses that saint-level body to enter the ruins of the Azure Sword Sect. The Azure Sword Sect has only been open for a month, and it has been open for 10 days so far, with 20 days left, and the soul transfer talent can last for a month, which is enough to complete this plan. After a while, 5 saint-level people came and surrounded Yi Tian. These 5 saint-level people are all Western faces, and they are obviously martial artists in the Western cultivation world. "Kill him," one of the saints spoke. However, just as these 5 saints were about to make a move, a voice filled the void. "Extinguish." I saw Yi Tian stretch out his hand, the void froze, and the bodies of 4 of the saint-level people began to be compressed by the space. In the blink of an eye, the bodies of the 4 saint level were completely compressed into a cloud of blood mist, dissipating between heaven and earth. Because they died so quickly, the 4 didn't even scream. Imperial, the last saint, was terrified. He never expected that a weak saint level selected by himself and others would be disguised as an emperor level, and the dignified emperor level was disguised as a saint level. Was this fun? He knew that Yi Tian was an emperor. How could he dare to pay attention to Yi Tian? He wanted to ask for mercy, but he couldn't move at all under the confinement of space, and he couldn't even speak. It was at this moment that his consciousness began to sink. Because Yi Tian launched a hypnotic talent against him, he successfully hypnotized the other party and asked him to take the initiative to follow him. The object of the top-level soul transfer talent had to be a creature, not a corpse, so he didn't kill the saint. The reason why only such a saint level was left was because the cultivation of other saint level was too low, and this saint level had already opened up 86% of the deep brain domain, occupying his body, and he was able to exert his powerful strength. Soon, Yi Tian returned to Azure City with this saint level, and then rented a room and paid a month's room fee, and then used his top-level soul transfer talent on that saint level in the room. Rumble. Yi Tian's soul entered the other party's soul sea, instantly erasing the other party's soul and completely occupying the other party's body. A few minutes later, Yi Tian became familiar with this body, and then turned on his disguise talent, disguised as an ordinary-looking middle-aged Westerner. He didn't use this body as it was, because he was afraid that his friends or acquaintances would find out about it, and it would be troublesome. Yi Tian's body would hardly have an accident in this inn. After all, no one had dared to make a large-scale attack in Azure City. This body will be called Boron for the time being. Yi Tian gave a name to the new body he occupied, and immediately went out with a Morningstar knife weapon and some simple things. This time, he didn't encounter any trouble on the road, and he came to the ruins of the Azure Sword Sect smoothly. The ruins of the Azure Sword Sect were located on the top of a mountain range, and the entire mountain peak was shrouded in a huge formation, and it was not clear from the outside that the situation inside could not be seen, only some majestic buildings could be vaguely seen. And this formation was connected with the entire Azure Sword Sect ruins, and even this piece of land. Huihui level formation. Yi Tian saw it at a glance. He has a Huihui level formation talent, and he has a formation inheritance. Although he has less time to comprehend the formation, but he has barely stepped into the level of a Morningstar formation mage. If he can't even see a little bit of this big array, then he is too ashamed of his Huihui level formation talent. According to Yi Tian's judgment, this Huihui level formation was a little incomplete, and it should be because of time. The Azure Sword Sect was able to arrange the Huihui level formation, which shows that the Azure Sword Sect had a Huihui level formation mage or knew the Huihui level formation mage, which was enough to show the strength of the Azure Sword Sect at the beginning. Those forces from outside should have the power to break this broken Radiant Moon level defense array, but once it is broken, then this ruin will self-destruct, and it will have no value. That's why those foreign forces didn't break this defensive formation, but stayed here and only opened it once in 10 years. Yi Tian guessed. Outside the ruins of the Azure Sword sect, there is also a fortress, which vaguely has some emperor-level aura, and it should be the great emperor of the major foreign forces stationed here. Any saint level who wants to enter the ruins of the Azure Sword sect must purchase a token, and this token can pass through the formations arranged by the major forces, otherwise they will not even be able to enter this mountain range, let alone enter the ruins of the Azure Sword sect. Using this relic to make money, the major forces can see how greedy they are. Yi Tian walked over and entered the fortress. I want to enter the ruins of the Azure Sword sect, and I want to buy a token.